for Flabonga Monthrothacube. With Dale and Tony breaking all the rules. Talking tech, biz, and straight up chaos. Quick fire guests, oh yeah, we slay those.
Good afternoon. My name is Dale Rodriguez, and this is Flabonga Monthrothacube. With me today, I've got my awesome guest,
Andrew Davis.
Andrew. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
I mean, I need to go full disclosure. So, doing the show a while, and basically, I'll have lots of people on from my network. Some people I know relatively well, some people I don't know so well. And just be honest with the audience, I don't know you that well. We've never met in person. We've never shaken hands. Never done a deal. You're just someone cool I saw on LinkedIn and went, he might come on the show, and you said, yes.
Cool. Yeah, let's do it.
That's literally what happened. So I guess the first question is, we know your name. Andrew, what do you do for a living? What's your specialism?
So what I do is I am predominantly a keynote speaker and workshop trainer stroke I wouldn't say transformer. I help basically organizations. Yeah, like Optimus Prime. I help organizations when it comes to transformation in the world of digital. So whether it be from learning, whether it be from actually doing, and digital could be anything from social media, SEO to generative AI, but ultimately just simplifying digital marketing in order for them to reach an outcome.
Okay. How did you get into that?
So I've only worked in digital. So my first job back in 2001, after I graduated university, I worked for Liverpool Football Club. I'm not a Liverpool fan, by the way. We can get into football later on. Yeah. I actually worked for Liverpool Football Club. And I also worked for the TV show Pop Idol. Don't know if you remember Pop Idol back in the day.
I remember Pop Idol, yeah. That was one of the first ones, wasn't it? Like before X Factor, there was Pop Idol.
Yeah. So it was the first one was Pop Stars, and that what I think the group Hearsay won that, and then they done Pop Idol, which was the first one of Simon Cowell's one, and Will Young won that one, and Gareth Gates. So I worked on that one.
Yes.
And what would happen was Anton Deck used to say, go to itv.com/Pop Idol if you want to speak to people, and I'll be moderating the chat rooms and forums there. So I've done that for Liverpool, done that for them. I worked for Sony PlayStation at the time. I don't know if you're a gamer.
I'm a gamer.
Okay. So it was the main game there was Metal Gear Solid 2, I think it was.
Sons of Liberty. It was a great game. I remember when it came out. Hideo Kojima with his cinematic entrance, Snake coming in. It was banging. It was great.
Yeah. So that was the big game at the time. Grand Theft Auto as well. When Grand Theft Auto became... When it went for, I don't know if you remember back in the day, it was like a bird's eye view. I remember. GTA 1, GTA 2, top-down view. Yeah. And then when it went to free, that's when that was also a big game.
Careful, Andrew. You're showing your age here, by the way.
I know, definitely showing my age. Yeah, definitely. So I've done that. And then the site called Friends Reunited. That really showed my age. So there was a site called Friends Reunited, which it was Facebook before Facebook. So that's kind of like how I got into digital. So since 2001. And then I was... then my parents basically said get a proper job because working on the internet wasn't a proper job back in 2000.
How little did they know? How little did they know?
Exactly. So to get a proper job and working from home as well, that wasn't considered a proper job. And I ended up at the BBC, and I was part of the team to launch Radio 1 Extra. And I was there for about 4.5 years producing radio shows there. Mm-hmm. And then I was doing a show in San Francisco, and then I got poached by a small startup that just got bought by Rupert Murdoch for about 600 million. And
tiny money.
Yeah, tiny money. Yeah, actually, tiny
Pocket
money
change, baby.
Now. Yeah, tiny money now for you. What people buy companies for. But I decided to play Russian roulette with my career because I had the perfect job at the BBC. I'm a hip hop guy, and I was producing the hip hop shows. So I was working on all of the hip hop shows. So I was like, I can't get a better job than this. I took the gamble and I left, and I was part of the team to launch Myspace. So I don't know if you remember Myspace back in the day.
Tom was my best friend.
Yeah, good old Tom. So I worked at Myspace, basically launched it in the UK. Was there when there was about 20 million people on the site, and we took it to over 250 million in a year and a half, and became the biggest website in the world. But I was there for the rise, and I was there for the fall. So I kind of thought I know what works and what doesn't. Also, to give you some context, when I joined Myspace, Facebook was only available to students. So that kind of gives me an idea of time.
Yep.
And then I ended up leaving beginning of 2009, and I ended up training because by then I had 8 years experience in digital and people were just starting to get into it. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I ended up just training, and yeah, I've been training ever since, training workshops and doing digital transformation ever since.
Banging. I'm just going to jump into the comments. Debbie Hale, she's a long-time friend of the show. She says, phew, made it. Debbie, if you've got any questions for Andrew about digital marketing and digital, I don't know if you heard, but he's the guy. He just gave his credentials. He knows what he's talking about. Ask some questions. So going back a step, you mentioned you went to university. Was your degree related to what you do now?
Ish. So I did business studies with a speciality in marketing, but I can honestly say that what I learned at university, I don't think has really helped me, if I'm being honest. Like, I can't say, because if you think about it, at that time, digital wasn't a part of it. And my first job was working online, moderating chat rooms and forums. Then I was working in radio. Then I was working in social media. So those three things were in the world of online, and those three things weren't around at digital. Now, you can argue that some parts of marketing were still relevant then, but I can't turn around and say, yeah, my university degree helped me with my career. Not really.
Me neither.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
What did you study?
Entertainment technology.
Oh, nice.
Yep. I learned my course was crazy, right? So the way I can explain it is really eclectic. I think they wanted to legitimize it by making it a BSc. So half of the course was the creative stuff, like using desktop audio workstations to produce music, which is what I wanted to do. All good. And then to like make it, I don't know, harder, I had to learn the physics of an LCD screen TV and partner up with like the physics students and almost manufacture or design one. I was like, that's really, really hard. So I have this information in my head, never use it, never wanted to use it. So yeah, it doesn't help me now working in finance and accounting. So no. You mentioned you're a hip hop guy. Okay. Top 3 hip hop artists
Of all time.
Of all time. I'll give you 3.
Okay. In no particular order.
No particular order, that's fine. Just
Big Daddy Kane.
Okay.
Notorious B.I.G.
Yep.
Either Jay-Z or Eminem.
Fair play. Now, you have mentioned legends in the game, and I'm going to ask a controversial question. What's wrong with the hip hop game right now? Like, people our age don't particularly like mumble rap, for example. I'm projecting here. What is it? What is the difference between Eminem back in the day, Jay-Z back in the day, even Jay-Z now, right? What's the difference between those guys and what maybe some of the younger people are listening to? Why do we dislike it so much?
You know what? I just think it's just more of a generation thing, because I know that when I was getting into hip hop, the people that were there before me was like, oh, why'd you like this? Like, even what some people like, why'd you like hip hop? But even some people didn't like anything past, like, you know, like the old school hip hops, old school hip hop artists. They didn't really like when it started to be a bit more gangster rap or a bit more bling bling. Yeah, so that kind of happened, and then now you got the mumble rap. So we are in the kind of the generation where it was very like, you had the Biggie Smalls, you had the NWAs, you had the Q-Tip and Tribe Called Quest. So you had different forms of hip hop. Yeah. Now we hear mumble rap, and we're like, what is this? But they might look back at our rap and be like I've heard people say, I don't get it when it comes to Eminem. They're like, I just don't get why people think he's good.
He's a lyrical genius.
Well. Yeah, but that's how they see it. And then also, because we like the lyricism of it, some people would say, I've heard people say, I don't want to take a dictionary to the nightclub. I just want to dance. And mumble rap, they do have good beats. Like a lot of it, beats that kind of make some of it. So I think it's just an age thing. But I stopped listening to music, really, hip hop properly, that type of hip hop properly, from 2010. And then after, I'm really into battle rap. So I'm really into battle rap. So I just really just focus more on battle rap. Like, I could easily watch a hip hop battle between two people than whoever's the biggest artist's latest album now. Like, I'd happily listen to that.
I can't remember the name of the channel I follow on Instagram, but there are some UK grime artist battle rap channels that are just insane. The bars are brutal. The rhymes are incredible. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. So good. So good.
There's a few of them. There's Premier Battle League. There used to be one called Don't Flop.
That's the one. The original Don't Flop as well. Yes, Don't Flop was great. Yeah. And the iconic one, I think it's Don't Flop. I think it had a young lad called Blizzard from the
Yeah,
north
versus the teacher.
versus the teacher Mark Grice,
Yeah,
and that was
yeah, yeah,
incredible. So good, so
yeah,
good.
yeah.
All right, time for some pattern interruption. Andrew, if you were a biscuit, what kind of biscuit would you be that accurately portrays your personality and why? But don't just pick your favorite biscuit.
If I was a biscuit, what biscuit would I be? Well, first off, I don't really know much about biscuits because I've never been a fan of them. So I'm gonna have to go with some of the more popular ones.
Mhm.
I would say I don't even know. Probably hobnobs.
Okay.
And that is because I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. When it comes to biscuits, I couldn't even tell you like more than 5 biscuits anyway. Like hobnobs, cream crackers. I know there's ones where you've got
Bourbons,
like
custard
raisins
creams,
inside,
pink
custard creams is
wafers,
another
jammy
one.
dodgers.
Yeah. I
The-
could. I probably hobnob, but purely because I like it. I like it the best. Yeah, I know.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it. To be honest, I don't really eat biscuits either. I've been asking this question for like over a decade, just for mostly for my own amusement. You'll hear me say that a lot today, by the way. Most things I do for my own amusement.
That's good.
But yeah, okay. So what people don't know about you is the stuff we talked about in like the warm up. You were an Arsenal fan.
Yes, big Gunners fan.
Is that because you grew up in the area, or your parents followed them, or just?
No, do you know what? If I was being honest, it was. Why don't I support Arsenal? I don't know. I always liked them, and then when Ian Wright was there as well, David Rocastle and Ian Wright. I think it was also the fact that there was Liverpool and then there was Arsenal, and at the time you're looking at role models and people you like, and I liked John Barnes, I liked Ian Rush, but Liverpool was just far away from me. And then Arsenal was kind of local. My actual local team is Wimbledon. That's probably the closest team to where I live, like Wimbledon. The original Wimbledon, the crazy gang in Plough Lane, that was the original one. That was the one, if I had to say, closest to me. But Arsenal, and I think it was mainly because I just like them, Ian Wright. And then, just being a fan. And then my sister, she married her husband, or my brother-in-law. He was a big Arsenal fan, and like his aunt and a lot of his family worked for the club as well. Okay. So it kind of like solidified a whole bunch of stuff as well.
Is your sister older or younger than you?
Older sister, yeah.
Okay. How many siblings do you have?
Just one.
Okay. So you're a second born.
The youngest child.
Sorry, we can't relate. I'm firstborn. I am more important. I am the archetype. You're welcome, younger sibling.
First child is always more important. She goes, no.
It's true. We're the favourites. Like we did everything first. All the milestones were reached first. The rolling over, the smiling. You guys came along and you were just playmates for us. So it is. Sorry, I say that in the hopes that my younger sister is watching. We joke about it all the time. All right. Let's take it back to business. So, digital marketing, media, the whole spectrum. I have to talk about it because it's a buzz. AI in marketing. I'm going to ask you a very nebulous question. What are your thoughts?
I really like it. I think that I do a lot of talks and training sessions on the good, the bad, the ugly of AI. And I do think there's a lot of good. I do think there's a lot of bad. And I do think there's a lot of ugly. The reality is that it's not going anywhere. So how can we embrace it? So I got into AI 2022. That's when I started really using the tools. And I think it was slightly before ChatGPT came out. And I started using the tools then. I started training early 2023, and it was too early for people. So I just actually had to stop because I was telling people, look at this. And I was showing them Midjourney, which is, if you don't know, image generator.
Yep.
So I was showing them version 1 of that, and they were like, oh, this is a bit scary for me. So I actually ended up having to stop for a bit because I was like, maybe people are not ready for it. But overall, I really like it. I'm a big fan of it, I have to admit. It makes my life a lot easier. And that overall is the key thing for me.
How so? How does it make your life easier?
So I didn't say this, but the reason I left Myspace and the reason why I started training is because I suffer from repetitive strain injury. So I have problems with the nerves in my hands. So I can't really type without being in pain. And I've had this since 2008.
Oh, so sorry to hear that, man. That's not great.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It is what it is. It's life. And what happened was I got to the point where if I worked for 5 minutes, I couldn't work for the next 2 or 3 hours. So I was like, how am I gonna do stuff? And I had to leave Myspace. I had to leave work. And at the time, to give you some idea, I'd won in the media. There's 2 big trade magazines. You've got Broadcast Magazine and Media Week. And every year they did the top 30 under 30. And I was the first person to be in both of them, to be featured in both. I was in the Guardian for stuff. I was on TV for stuff. So I was really doing things, getting flown all around the world and blah, blah, blah. And then my hands happened and I had to give it all up. So I was like, what am I going to do now? Because I've only worked online. So now I can't type. So I was like, what am I going to do? And then process of elimination was, all right, I've got to use my feet or my voice. Can't play football. I can't dance like Diversity because Diversity just come one Britain's Got Talent. I was like, I can't dance like that. I can't sing. I can't rap. I'm going to have to teach. And it literally became that. So that's why I started teaching. But during that time, I still had the problem with my hands and I still had to function in this digital world. So I developed loads of productivity hacks in order to be efficient. So if I can only work an hour in a day, how can I be productive, not busy? So when AI came along, I just took all of these hacks that I've used for God knows how many years, put an AI lens across it, and it just made it super efficient. So it actually has helped my hands a lot. So the pain that I have is not as bad because of AI. So that's the main reason why I really like this stuff. From a personal point of view, that's the main reason.
Cool. Just going to jump to the comments quick. Debbie Hales, love arguing with AI. It's a fabulous resource if you know it can hallucinate. I agree, Debbie. It's
It definitely can tell a lie or two.
Yeah. Do you drink coffee by any chance?
No, I drink decaf.
Drink decaf. Okay, so would you say you drink more tea or coffee, or just coffee decaf?
You know what? Honestly, it doesn't bother me. A lot of people, are you a coffee person or a tea person? I'm like, you know what? They taste the same pretty much to me. Now, when I thought we could be friends, Andrew. Just when I thought we could be friends, man. Like,
don't talk foolishness, man. Tea and coffee do not taste the same, bruv. Come on.
I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? They don't taste the same. To me, I like them. Like, there's no preference. Like, if you turn around to me,
you know, I'm going to clip you up for that, right? You're going to be clipped.
Please do. I'm prepared to argue my point.
Okay, I'll mute myself. You proceed. Make your case, and then we will debate this. Go on.
Yeah, for me, like I said, I don't really like either or. It doesn't really make that much of a difference to me. Like, I like tea. I like coffee, but I just like it. And then what happened was when I used to go out a lot, pre-COVID especially, used to go and get my lattes, get my decaf lattes, £2.20 they were. And then now the same decaf latte with oat milk is almost £5. So now I'm like, all right, I'm not having a latte. Not the fact I can't afford it, on the principle that it shouldn't be worth that much.
I'm the same when it comes to chicken chops. No, for chicken chops. No, but it's like, what? I remember chicken chops. When I was a kid, right, I used to visit my cousins and they'd be Morley's fried chicken, right? I don't know if you know Morley's.
Morley's, right? Are you South London then?
Yeah, South London.
You went to South London. Yeah.
And you could get like, I don't know, like 6 wings and a can of Coke and chips for like, I don't know, £3.
£1.99, £2.
Yeah, it's crazy. And now like they want like £8-9 for it. I'm like, the same chicken, the same Mirinda drink, because they only ever sold Mirinda in those places, never anywhere else, and the same greasy fries. And I refuse to pay that.
That's exactly. I completely agree. So Morley's is more of a South London thing. So I'm South London, so I used to get them all the time, Morley's, and all of the other random ones. But I'm like, nah, it's out of principle. I'm not prepared. I'm not going to pay £5 for something only 2 years ago is worth £1.99. So yeah.
Okay. So just to clarify, you drink coffee, but it's decaf. And let's introduce you to Tony. Usually this happens before the show starts. Tony's a little bit late. We'll allow it because he's a cool guy. Many times he's covered for me, and I've done the same thing. I've snuck in Tony, Andrew, Tony.
Pleasure to meet you, Andrew. How are you doing?
Likewise. Nice to meet you.
Now the full team's here. Let's get intimate. Let's zoom in. Let's get the boy band look. Look at us. Get some slow jams going. Genuine. Sorry. Tony.
Yes.
we can't ask Andrew the coffee question because he doesn't drink coffee and he doesn't purchase coffee out of principle because of the cost of coffee. So
do you know what? That's a pretty good moral high ground to sit on, isn't it?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like you sit at home and you're making your coffee in the machine, and you're just like, this is better than most coffee that I can make when I'm out and about. And then you're like, this didn't cost me £5.
Exactly.
It's
But to be
free.
honest, it's not that I still do. It's just that not as much, and I'm quite reluctant to do it as well. So I'm like, I'm getting annoyed to do it, but I still do.
Okay. In that case, do you eat meat?
Yes.
Good. We can still be friends. If you could eat one animal for the rest of your life, or meat for the rest of your life, forsaking all others, what meat/animal are you choosing?
If you'd have asked me this even a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I would say chicken.
Of course you would.
But exactly, of course.
I'm sorry.
Obviously. But now, I don't know. If I'll probably be steak. I've always liked steak. And also, eating chicken by itself is not that nice. Eating steak by itself is doable. I went carnivore for a bit, and you pretty much was just living off of just pure steak, and that's fine. But eating chicken by itself is it's not. And the other thing as well, with steak, you can just get away with just salt and pepper for seasoning. You can't really on chicken. You can, but it's not the same.
So we're similar in that regard. I used to say chicken all the time because and then I now agree. Steak or beef is more versatile. If I want spaghetti bolognese, that's beef. If I want a good beef ribs, good short rib, delicious. Oxtail, and then of course your ribeyes, your picanha steaks, all these amazing parts of the cow. Chuck is just great for curries and stuff. So cool, good answer.
Also with chicken, it depends what you have with it. If you got other stuff like rice and other things and potatoes and stuff, then chicken would be like that. But if it was just one meat and nothing else, then it'll be steak.
For animals.
Chicken's more of a sort of like vehicle for sauce, really, isn't it? It's like, do you know what I mean? Like you've got to do something to the chicken before it becomes like an experience that you are positive about, I think.
Exactly. In fact, chicken is what really I've always been into seasoning, but I remember being at uni once and my friend, he had no idea about cooking, and he was telling him how to cook chicken. I've known how to cook Sunday proper, like, because my family's from Jamaica, so I know how to cook like rice and peas and chicken and all that since I was a kid. And I was teaching my friend how to just cook normal chicken. And I was like, look, you got to do this, you got to do that. And I forgot to tell him to season it because I just assumed you would season chicken. And he forgot, and he just put it in. He didn't even put salt or pepper on it. He just put it in and it came out. And I was like, you can't eat that. And then I realized the importance of seasoning when it comes to food. Like, because a plain chicken versus a chicken with some good seasoning is a completely different meal.
I concur.
I concur as well. I love the passion as well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
now I'm thinking
strongly about this.
Yeah. I'm having dinner.
So you probably hate it when people ask you this, but I'm going to have to ask you to name drop. You've met some very cool celebrities. I'm going to list a few. You have met Jay-Z. You've met Thierry Henry. You have met Kelly Rowland. You've also met Pharrell Williams, one of my all-time favorite music producers of all time. You've met all the goats in the R&B hip-hop space, late 90s, early 2000s, and some of them are still amazing today, let's be honest. Who's the favorite? Who was the coolest one that you actually got to maybe spend a little bit of time with? Not just a 2-minute handshake. Thanks for coming on the show. Who was the one you actually got to talk to and enjoyed conversing with the most?
Before we answer that question, Andrew, sorry to interrupt. Could you explain for me and also our listeners how that came about? Like, how did you meet all those faces?
So what I was saying before, Tony.
Sorry, I forgot I was 20 minutes late, and you might have already.
He's kind of covered this. He worked for the BBC. He worked for One Extra. He worked for Myspace.
So I worked. So when I worked at the BBC, I worked at One Extra, and we would like all the hip hop artists, R&B artists, also a lot of UK garage and grime artists like were there as well. But we were all in the same building as Radio 1, so it was called Yielding House. So. And it was just one entrance. So you bump into Robbie Williams and Kylie Minogue and people like that, like in that building, like Yielding House. So it wasn't like a shock if you're just walking down the hallway and I don't know, Kings of Leon are there or something like that. And then when I went to MySpace, because I worked in entertainment, and under entertainment was music, which kind of MySpace was known for, film, TV, sport, and fashion. When artists would come to the UK at that time, they'd be like, we don't want to do online, but we'll do MySpace. So that's when I had access to other people. So the reason why Dale mentioned that is because I've got some pictures on my website. So there's other people that I've met as well that I haven't got pictures with. But I would say, so to answer that question, who are the most interesting people? 50 Cent.
I'm enjoying his current run on Instagram of hating on videos. He's hilarious.
Off camera, off going live on thing. I'll tell you exactly what he said to me.
Okay, off camera.
I'm not going to say it on air. I'll tell you afterwards.
Have you ever seen that skit of him where he's like it's like his daughter's got her prom date like round, and she takes him into like the lounge, and then there's 50 Cent and like all his cronies stood there. Yeah. Guys like, oh dear.
Yeah. The thing with 50 Cent is that he's one of the most professional people I've ever met, ever. And working in hip hop and grime, you're not going to meet the most professional people, a lot of them, or they'll be late, or they'll like things like that. He was so professional. I understand why he runs his like literally like a unit, like an army unit. The way he runs.
Unit. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So he was really somebody who I liked. Andre 3000, he was funny. Who else? Snoop was cool.
Snoop's always cool.
Of course he was.
Yeah. I probably hanged out more with someone like Pharrell than anyone.
You know, of all the people on your page, he's my favorite, right?
And John Legend. John Legend, actually, a lot. Now, I'm not including UK artists, because UK artists, like all like you sit like Dizzy, Wiley, Kano, like all of those, they would just be around anyway. So I'm not including
for someone like you, yes. For muggles like us, no. You're saying it so casually. They're just around in South London. No, man. Not all of us get to see these legends in person.
Yeah. So I don't mean it disrespectfully either.
No.
It was just more like, because they were from the UK.
You were more familiar with them, so you saw them more often. Yeah, I get it.
You'd see them a lot. Like I remember once I would just be walking into my office, and then Wiley's just on my computer just working on so like it would literally just be that you'd see that. So that's why I would say I'm going more towards the American ones, because obviously you don't see them all the time.
I love the idea that
most of them are cool. Most of them has been cool, pretty much.
You'd have like walked into that office and be like, Wiley, do one, mate. Come on, I've got to get off my computer. We've talked about this. Come on.
It literally was like that. You were like that with a lot of them. But also, don't forget, they were not as big then.
Back then, yes.
They were now. So it's not like they're big superstars like you would see. Like I remember Calvin Harris. I was in Old Street, I think it was.
Pre-glow up or post-glow up?
This was this was the old
Marcus Batson.
It was just getting there. It's still quite hip and trendy.
So Marcus is a friend of ours. He's a friend of the show. He loves grime and drill. Like he knows everybody. He loves music, so he's in his element right now.
Yeah. So it's just like a lot of them, like Amy Winehouse before she really blew, Adele before she really blew. A lot of them was just before they really blew. Like especially the UK ones. So it was good seeing how big they became.
Need to take the conversation back a step. Got some questions from the audience, and very important things. Like Debbie has asked the most important question of all time. Debbie, thank you for being brave. I don't season chicken, no judgment. What would you suggest is best?
All right, you want to start slowly, just salt, pepper, and maybe some like herbs. But then you want to go to Sainsbury's and just get chicken seasoning, and then just put that in, and then it's the case, put it in like a plastic bag or like a bowl. Put it all over. Put some like oil, some like olive oil, and then just like this with them. Make sure it's all succulent. Put it in the oven for 35-40 minutes. Don't cook it too high. Don't cook it anything past 200. And then let us know how it goes, Debbie. I'll connect with you on LinkedIn, Debbie Harolds. I'll connect with you on LinkedIn and let us know how it goes.
She is a great connection to have. She's a wicked smart business lady. Honestly, right? She's
prolific
epic.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, she's great. She's also asked another question. So let's go for the next question from Debbie. Debbie Hales, how often would you say a baby franchise, for example, should post on social media? What do you think is too much, for example? Oh, doing the personal and the professional. Good questions, Debbie. Thank you.
So what is too much? The reality is nothing is too much purely because the way the algorithms work. So because the way the algorithms work right now is you've got two types of algorithm. So I just sent you a request, Debbie. There's two types of algorithm. You've got the traditional algorithm, and that means if you've got 30,000 followers, it's going to go to a small percentage of people. And then you've got the kind of the new algorithm, which is about relevancy. So if you create something on chicken seasoning, it will just go to people who's interested in or show some interest in chicken seasoning. But because regardless, it's only going to go to a small percentage, you can post 15 times a day if you want. Everyone won't see it. It will only go, the algorithms are quite good at just giving it to certain people, unless they go to your profile and then they see. Or if they keep on interacting with you, then they're going to probably show you more. So again, it's not so much I don't want to post because I might be spamming. Really, it goes down to how much time do I have to create content. So that's the second question to that.
That's a fantastic answer. Thank you, Andrew, for answering that. Tony, I could see the gears grinding as he was answering. I can feel a Tony follow-up question coming through. No pressure.
Just like thousands, mate. Like the follow-up question on that is like, from a content perspective, like how do you help people get started with content, Andrew? Like, where is there, do you have like they're sitting down, they want to post on socials, they don't really know where to start, like what's those first steps to building something that can reach an audience? Aside from just TikTok dancing, obviously, apart from that.
Yeah. Dance or share.
Can't miss you now.
yeah. Talking to cats, let me just quickly let my cat out of the room.
That's cool. While he's gone, we'll talk about some of the comments. So, Debbie, I don't like heat, just flavor. Again, Debbie, what he suggested is fine. For me, my go-tos are salt, pepper, garlic powder, and maybe some paprika. Right, and as Andrew said, some all-purpose seasoning, whack it on there. Marinate it overnight as well. So if you're cooking on Saturday, do it on Friday night, put it in the fridge with all the seasonings on it, let it soak in. Marcus Batson, where it's at, all-purpose for the win, all-purpose seasoning.
Yeah,
will do you good, Debbie.
The other one. Yeah.
In my opinion, I think Sainsbury's does the Duns River ones. You can buy a tub of it, just whack it on a chicken overnight, and then of course Debbie says, "Damn algorithms," in reference to what you're talking about, Andrew.
Algorithms.
They're pesky.
AI, the biggest challenge next year, forget ChatGPT or Gemini or Midjourney, it's the social media algorithms. That's going to be the one to master. But to answer your question, Tony, if you're about to start, I actually think, say if I was starting from scratch, my first thing wouldn't be to create content. As in to post content for my account. My first thing will be exactly how I ended up on this podcast, and that is commenting on other people's content. Because sometimes your comments will get more views than your posts, depending if you do it strategically.
Aside from one that we did through work as a paid partnership one, my biggest impressions this year were for a comment on another post about brisket. I'm not even kidding. It got like 10,000 impressions on this guy in our spaces was chatting about brisket, and I put some out there, and it went off.
Yeah, I'm telling you, commenting is the thing that I would be focusing on more than posts. And then if you want to start on post, I often say be the DJ. So what I mean by that is a DJ gets paid a lot of money to play other people's music, whether they're in a club or whether they're on radio. You can do the same. And that is, rather than create content, you can curate. So if you ever look at my feed, 9.5 times out of 10, I didn't create it. I would take it from someone else, always give the person credit if I know who it is, and then put my thoughts to this. And because I post videos, it will be a video, and it might be, I don't know, a robot playing football with Cristiano Ronaldo or something like that. I might post that and then just give my thoughts. Yeah. But what happens then is that it's still a post. It still gets engagement. LinkedIn still, even though I didn't create it, LinkedIn still, or whatever platform, will still look at you as it came from that account. And then once I start getting used to commenting and posting, then I'll start building my own content. And it might be, if I wanted to post every day, I'll curate 5 days a week. And then eventually I'll be once a week posting about me and 4 days about curation. and then depending on your time, you might be 2/3 for you, and then 2/3 for the other one. That's how I would do it.
You know, I didn't say this before, but it's one of the premises of the show. I am not very entertaining by myself. People will get very bored if I spoke for an hour. I invite interesting people and ask them questions, and it makes me look good. I'm not going to lie. That's one of the reasons why I do it as well.
But again, you could quite easily just take this. There's a site called Opus Clip, where you could just take this whole episode, put it into Opus Clip or other ones, and it just chops it up into what it believes is going to be the most social bits, and then that's what you can post on LinkedIn. So it just does a lot of the work for you. So you can just take clips of, and you've got quite a big archive. You could just take clips, and then you might just say what's today? Today's Wednesday. So you might just say every Tuesday, I'll post something with a promotion to Wednesday's episode or something like that.
I'm making notes, by the way. That's why I'm looking away.
Yeah. So I'll just do that. That means you don't have to create anything. You just need to just go back to old stuff, post it, put it into Opus Clip, or you could just do it yourself and just work out where it is. And then that's just cut and paste, like not cut and paste, just slice in the video, take it, and then just upload it to your LinkedIn. There's 2 of you. You might from this episode. Let's say you get 10 clips. You might post 5, Tony, and you post 5 there, or something like that.
What is the least favorite thing about your career / job? What's the thing that irks you the most? What grinds your gears?
Because I work by myself, sometimes, especially at that Christmas time, like when everyone's doing their like Christmas parties and things like that, I would say that probably is the thing that bothers me the most. Everything else, I don't mind. Like I've been doing this full time since 2019. 2009. So I really enjoy what I do. I meet a lot of interesting people, whether it be I'm training or being featured like you guys. And then, so yeah, I would say it's probably more of the I wouldn't say loneliness, but just not working with people all of the time, as in like that, hey, let's go for Christmas dinner now, and like things like that. I would say, yeah.
That's cool.
We should have like an FM like Christmas lunch, shouldn't we?
Invite
all of our guests from the year. We're not paying, by the way, but if anyone wants to sponsor it,
yeah,
the great and the good, yeah. We'll have chicken, well seasoned.
Yeah, and some what other hobnobs or other biscuits. Introduce me to the world of biscuits.
Yeah,
and coffee,
coffee,
and biscuit and brisket.
Are you not a brisket guy? You're not a fan?
I just don't mind it.
Okay.
Don't mind it.
It is one of those things that is like the spectrum of bad / even average brisket to like world class, God tier, S tier is wide. Like that is a wide gap. It is so easy to cook it badly, and like it's on my long list of things to do, to go to Texas and go to like Franklin's and Terry Black's and like the home of brisket. And it's an expensive thing to get wrong as well. Like if you buy a full brisket, you can pay £200-300, like not even for a Wagyu one, just for like an American pack of brisket that's grain fed and stuff. Yeah, so you want to get that wrong.
Exactly.
Expensive dry meat that you'd be chewing on, crying into your hole in your bank balance for that week. Yeah. So
Andrew, you worked for Ofcom, or you advised Ofcom? Is that right? What was that?
I sat in the advisory committee.
Thank you, advisory committee.
So what would happen would be I think 4 times a year we would meet, and you'll get people in Ofcom come to the board essentially and state, this is what we're planning to do. Can you give us feedback? So I've done that for 4 years. So I've done that from the Olympics, so 2012 to 2016. So it's quite a long time actually. I was on it for, and you'll be on there with some really senior people. So yeah,
cool. And what was the highlight of being on that advisory board? Any particular fond memories, or?
I guess it was taking me out of my comfort zone. That was, I would say, was the highlight, because I learned a lot, and just being around, not even C-suite. Like if there was a level above C-suite, it's like these are really senior people who were there, like ex-head of BT, like that type of senior, and and you're sitting there and you're the youngest by about 20 years and they don't know anything about the world of digital, and you need to say what you have to say, hold your own, get respect from them in there as well, without it being about you, and also without it being so above your head you don't say anything in the meetings and you might not have been there. So it's just finding that balance and just being outside of my comfort zone and stuff. So again, it was just, and also there was just interesting things, because I actually think Ofcom, I thought Ofcom was just if you get in trouble on television and radio, if someone swears or something. And working at One Extra, we was in trouble with Ofcom all of the time, especially the Garrett, those grind boys.
Was it Charlie Sloth? It was mainly Charlie Sloth.
Yeah. Well, actually, Charlie came. Charlie, I know very well.
Tim Westwood.
I know Charlie very well. Westwood. I know
Got himself in a bit of trouble.
Tim Westwood.
Yeah. But that was not the presenters weren't the problem. It was the guests, and you get some crew from Birmingham that come down, and then they just they don't realize they're on a radio or is going out to people. They think it's pirate radio. They can say whatever they want. But the reason I said that was because I thought that's what it was. But Ofcom, their remit is like far and wide. So, for example, in the Olympics, I didn't realize that Ofcom pretty much controlled the radio or the airwaves in a lot of spaces. So at the Olympics, it was the first Olympics where they had like those mini cars that would collect the shot puts, which means it's all remote control, which means Ofcom control the airwaves there. So there's things like during the 100-meter race, we know that's going to be between 9.5 and 10 seconds. If there's too many like people using their phones and stuff, it's going to affect the airwaves, which could affect TV. And imagine TV's down for 10 seconds during that race. You missed the 100-meter final.
It's Usain Bolt running around celebrating.
Yeah. You say ready, on your marks, get set, and then it cuts off for 10 seconds, and you see someone like it's things like that Ofcom control. I had no idea that they were in charge of that. Or things like letterboxes and making sure that I think it's every certain amount of square feet, like every 400 or something square feet, there has to be a letterbox. But that was changing because people use less letters. So Ofcom could control things like that. And at the time, well, especially when I first started, it didn't have any jurisdiction of what goes on online. But it started to move more and more because of more on video on demand sites like Netflix and like all the other ones. So it was actually quite fascinating understanding what they could and couldn't do. As I said, I just thought it was if someone swore in air, then Ofcom will come in and fine you or tell you off.
Ditto. I thought the same. I didn't realize they had that much power.
Yeah, they have a lot of power. A lot of power.
I hope they don't watch our show. We swear way too much. I swear too much.
Swearing you can get away with online. You could get away with online. And it's YouTube or LinkedIn. Yeah, exactly. But we this has been quite a PG show anyway.
I tried to keep it PG just to make it easier, just to make it easier for everybody.
Do you think that if we had like a paid subscription that was like off grid, like where it was a free for all, and then people could access it at their own will, having paid for us, then that might work. Yeah.
Yeah, a good subscription business there.
Flabonga Monthrothacube uncensored.
In the green room, yeah. I got some questions, or I've got a question at least. So you, Andrew, like you go in and train businesses on like digital, social, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I noticed that you talked about in your LinkedIn bio, when I was having a quick scan through it, about like the corporate entrepreneurs or intrapreneurs, as you call them. So I think you mean is like people like me and Dale that have an online presence but work for a company rather than work for ourselves. Is that right? Yeah. So it's a twofold question. Like, so first of all, when a business hires you to come in and consult or train or do your thing, like what does that typically look like? So if we've got people listening now and thinking like Andrew seems like the man, he seems like he's got some good skills, but we're not quite sure what he would deliver for us. Talk us through that bit. And then the second question is, I'm very interested in that entrepreneur bit and how people who have an employer but also an online brand themselves or an online presence make the most of those opportunities or situations. So
sure. So to answer the first question, what I would do is typically I would be I mainly work with corporate clients, and they would have some form of problem or challenge. It might be we need to upskill the staff in AI. That's the most popular one by far at the moment. Or we've got this particular campaign going on. How do we go about using social media to do this? Can you teach these group of people over a day? Or if I go to an ad agency, it's can you train our account managers in a particular subject? So it's usually some form of upskilling.
Okay.
What I've been doing over the last year and a half is more of a transformation, especially when it comes to AI. It's how do I go from confused about this or my CRM's all over the place to now I'm very strategic. What does that transformation look like? What is that process? And that's what I might train a group of people to do.
Okay.
Also, I do a lot of lunch and learns. So I'll just, especially around AI. So I'll go in and I'll teach the good, the bad, the ugly on that. And it usually ends up being a series of stuff. So it starts off with the good, the bad, the ugly. And then it's just what's been going on in AI, because AI changes at such a fast pace. In fact, it changes so fast that I have a daily podcast that I do on AI. It's only 10 minutes a day. And if you're like me, you listen to stuff at twice the speed. So it's every 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah.
I've been doing it. I'm on about coming up by the end of the year. I think it'll be about 550 episodes I've done. So it's been going for a couple of years. And thank you. I've not ran out of things to say. You know, I've already got the rest of the year planned of what for each day. And also like the first week, almost 2 weeks of January plan, just because there's so many things to talk about. So when I do the lunch and learns, a lot of it is just about, all right, I haven't seen you in 3 months. What's been going on? So in fact, last week I done what was it last week or this week? Last week. One of my clients is FIFA. So again, how FIFA works is you've got a lot of the
Casual name drop just
No,
no, but the reason why I'm saying that, there's a reason why, is because what you've got here is you've got loads of member associations around the world. So FA is for the UK, and then you've got all different ones. But it's how do we stay up to date with it in our country? Like what's been happening, and they'll have their main objectives, which they're trying to achieve. But let's say, for example, it's to do with video. When I taught them in, say, June, video has changed a lot. So what they do is they say, can you come in every like 3-4 months to train them? So that's kind of the first thing that I do. So if anyone's interested in just upskilling or just staying up to date, or even if you want to listen to the podcast, I can give you all the details later.
Please do. Yeah.
The second one, going back to the corporate entrepreneurs or intrapreneurs, I genuinely think that everyone should have some form of like entrepreneurial mindset. And when it came to my corporate career, I always had that hustle mentality, but within an established organization, be it the BBC or be it News International or Fox, which is what Myspace was under. And it's just really that. It's like, well, okay, well, if I'm going to use ChatGPT, how can I use it to the best of my abilities? Or how can I use it to be more productive? Or how can I use it for whatever reason? How can I be indispensable, especially in the world of AI? Because one of the biggest worries that I hear from people is my job safe? I'm seeing tools that can just replace me. And there's a saying, which is AI won't replace you. People who use AI will replace you. So how can I use AI to be indispensable?
It's been very strongly repurposed in the accounting industry with the word accountant in there as well. So yeah,
exactly. And that's the key thing. And this is kind of like what I when I go in, I don't necessarily say it, but that's what I'm implying. It's you guys need to think differently. And that's my whole thing. It's all about transformation. How can you start the session here and then end up here? And that's cool. That's pretty much what I've been doing for, well, full time since 2009.
In terms of, I don't want you to give away your secret sauce. You don't have to tell us specifically, although it'd be great if you want to. Like, where do you curate that info from for a daily podcast on that stuff, right? Like, how do you, for someone who wants to, maybe not reach your level of expertise, but like to be able to stay credible on the AI train because it's moving so fast, like listen to your pod, you're doing the hard work for them. But if they wanted to go and, create their own stuff, like, how'd you go about that?
Sure. So there's actually a second thing that supports that is I have a daily WhatsApp group. So I say a group, but it's more of a list. So what happens is every day I'll post 3 or 4 news stories for the people in it. And it's mainly for content creators, marketers, and the everyday person. I'm not a techie person at all. So how I can stay up to date with both. On the podcast, there's actually themes. And I got this from working in radio. So it's like on radio, whether we say it or not, Monday, there's going to be a particular theme. Tuesday, there might be a particular theme. Wednesday might be a particular theme. So on my podcast, I will have Tuesdays is always tools. So I'm going to give you 3 tools that you could go away and use. Wednesday is always either going to be frequently asked questions. And because I train so many people and I get questions, I just write them down and I just answer 3 questions in an episode. So I might have done it, like, let's say we was doing a training session. I might answer it in a training session, but then I'll go back and answer that way. Or I'll do prompt hacks, because most of the time, pretty much you have to use prompts if you're going to use AI. So what you're going to type into, so how you can use that. And I call it the karate system or the jiu-jitsu system. How can you go from, in karate or jiu-jitsu, you've got, or any martial art, there's a belt system, white belt all the way up to black belt. Same as prompting. You got white belt prompts, which makes it sound like AI, a human didn't write this. It sounds like a robot. And then you got black belt prompts where it sounds like you're just on another level. And with black belt prompts, you can create films, apps, etc. How do you go from white belt prompts, which
jingles, podcasts?
Yeah, anything. Yeah, exactly. Jingles, the song at the beginning for the podcast. Yeah,
I love it.
You can, my mum could do a white belt prompt. You just need to show her access to ChatGPT and she could type something. Immediately she's there. Just like if you've done martial arts, your first day, you get a belt, you're a white belt. So how'd you go out the belt system? And it's not, you don't just go from white belt to black. There's all obviously different colors. And so I will do a day, which will be about hacks, how you can not stay at white belt, how you can go up the system. Fridays is always the news. And then I'll have different things. So I might do my top 5 things. So Monday, I've done my top 5 films that spoke about AI, but they've got it wrong so far. So things like The Matrix, Terminator, the film back in the day called War Games. What else was there? I think, no, I didn't talk about Blade Runner. I was gonna, but there's a few other Minority Reports and things like that. I'll do one which is pet peeves, so things that annoy me about it.
Oh, please share. What's one of your pet peeves?
Debbie mentioned about hallucinating. That really makes me annoyed. When it gets something wrong, which is important, they're like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. But anyway, like, you just damn near killed me. And you're like, sorry about that, mate. yeah. Oh, that annoys me. The credit system, like everything's credit. Like I've never been a pay-as-you-go person. I'm like, just how much can I pay so I don't have to worry about being careful about stuff? So I might say, right, I know that if in my phone, I pay £30 a month, I can get unlimited minutes. I don't have to worry about like, I've got to be careful how long I speak for. Same as the internet, like you pay for unlimited.
Yep.
With AI, you're paying for credits. So you could be halfway through a project, you run out of credits. And then you're like, I'm going to have to either stop the project, which means I've wasted the credits, which is money, or pay more. So these are just some things that I hate about it.
Cool. Gonna change up a little bit. Gonna go to Debbie's question, and I'm gonna get Tony to do the quick fire questions if you're feeling it, Tony. All right. So,
mate, I've got them loaded already. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Debbie Hales again. Debbie, thank you for asking these questions, by the way, because you make it engaging. Audience, if you're not watching, listening, you guys make it better by doing these things. Debbie Hales, where do you find the tools that you would suggest?
So the tools is just, and this kind of goes into finishing answering the question before, and that is, I follow a lot of people. I follow a lot of like email newsletters, things that I just kind of just find anyway. And sometimes rather than go for new tools, I'll just go deeper in the tool. So rather than talk about ChatGPT 1 week, I might just say ChatGPT's got a new feature, check this out. And that will be part of it. So yeah, these are kind of different ways that I just come up, find new tools. But I really want to, going into 2026, I'd rather have less tools and go deeper than thousands of tools, because you won't use them, or you use it very like randomly, and you're not getting the best out of it. I will still do cool tools, and I'll still find free tools every week in this I've got a list of like loads of tools, like already ready. But yeah, for me personally, or what I would recommend anyone else, I would just pick a few tools and just go deep on them.
Cool. Thank you for that. I'm going to mute myself while Tony does the quickfire questions because I can't behave. He'll ask questions, I'll interrupt. So I just need to pipe down. Over to you, Tony.
Ready, Andrew?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you 10 of my quickfire questions. Just give me your first answer. I've actually just added one in your honor, and we're going to start with that question, and then there'll be 9 further questions. First question is your most used AI tool.
Whisper.
Whisper. We're going to have to come back to that because I don't know anything about that one.
Okay.
What is one skill you wish you had, but you don't?
Editing videos.
Oh, that's a great shout. Favorite country that you've ever visited?
Disney World in Orlando. So yeah, we'll have America, but
Okay.
Thailand a close second.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Favorite country that you've ever visited? Sorry, I just asked you that one. What is your favorite food?
Rice and peas, jerk chicken, dumpling, red cabbage, West Indian Jamaican food. Yeah.
Lovely. The book that you have recommended the most often?
A fiction book, Ready Player One. A non-fiction book, either Rich Dad Poor Dad or Daniel Priestley's Key Person of Influence.
Good book, that really good.
Yeah.
Got that somewhere. Read it a long time ago. Should read it again. The life hack that you recommend the most often?
Oof. It is what it is. And what I mean by that is sometimes rather than just dwell over things and think about this, just say, you know what, it is what it is, and just get on with it. Really, that's kind of like, don't waste brain calories on stuff that you can't change. You know,
I think that's probably the best answer we've ever had to that question. Most hated grammatical error or mispronounced word?
There, and they spell it
Wrong.
No, yeah. It's the ERE and the EIR. But then again, if you go to Spanish, I don't know if you know Spanish, but to be, there's 2 phrases of to be. There's the present, like there's the general to be, and then there's the in the now, like you might say right now I am happy. That's what's called estar, because right, it's just now, and then I am from England is permanent. So in Spanish, there's different. It just annoys me just trying to learn them. And the reason I say that, Tony, is because I live in Spain. Yeah.
Right. Favorite podcast, present podcasts accepted, of course, beyond anyone presenting any podcasts on this particular show.
Probably Rio Ferdinand's one that he does with a guy called Joel Bayer and Steve Howson. I can't remember what it's called. Something, I know his channel's called 5, but that's my favorite podcast.
Okay. What is your best ever 1 in a million trick shot? I think like hole in one, like that kind of thing.
I don't understand the question. What do you mean? Sorry.
So like a time when you've done something that was highly unlikely to have happened, and it did, like 1 in a million. You know, you get those guys and they throw the cups, you know, that sort of thing. Like, this one will rattle around your brain for a while.
Yeah, I can't think of anything where I've been in situations where I'm like, how the hell did that happen? Yeah. One of them was I opened up for Kanye West in front of 16,000 people DJing, and I only had 2 records and like radio headphones. So that was probably like one of those situations where I'm like, how the hell did I get here?
Don't worry, guys, I got this. Yeah.
That's it. It's one. That was the most random day of my whole life. It started off me missing my plane to go to do a radio show for me, DJing and opening up for Kanye West in Glasgow, Scotland. So yeah, it's just a random day.
Possibly the best answer we've had to that question. Yeah. Final 2. So Best film. What's your favourite film?
The Usual Suspects.
Usual Suspect. That's a good film, isn't it? Kaiser say so. You knew he
Yeah.
didn't have a limp, eh? And who should we have on the show?
Who you should have on the show?
Yeah, who?
You could get anyone.
Anyone you know, or you don't. Whoever.
I'll tell you a good person. So I do a show called AI Live, which is another podcast, which is every Thursday where we play the best AI videos. My co-host, a guy called Chris Branch, he'll be a good person. Like he's the one who really got me into LinkedIn.
Chris Branch from Seedley.
Yes.
He's been on the show already.
Oh,
No.
see, has he?
He has been on the show. A good 3 years ago, he was on the show.
Oh,
Came
okay,
on.
it's worth getting him back.
We'll get him back. We'll get him back.
Yeah. So I'll
Right.
say, yeah, Chris Branch will be good. And also, probably one of my friends called Stephen Balogun. He works in cybersecurity, so it's always good to get like a different like take on some of the things.
Yeah, cool. Andrew, you've been an amazing guest. It's the top of the hour. Before we kick off, because you've probably got work to do. Do you have any questions for me or Tony? That's what we usually do at the end. Guests can ask us a few things if they want to.
Oh, good point. You should have said this before. I would have prepared some
Yeah,
things.
but that's also the fun of the show. We don't let you prepare. We just kind of.
Okay. How did you meet?
It was a romantic evening. Tony had some flowers. He also had some brisket, and we both work in the accounting bookkeeping space. He's technically a vendor to me or my company, but I think we met at Accountex. No, it was LinkedIn. Basically, we started commenting on LinkedIn. We both like barbecue, and then we met in person. It was like the bromance started already. Like, we're like barbecue, yeah, weightlifting, yeah. This thing. People don't know this about Tony, and I brag about it on his behalf. He almost set the world record for doing the most amount of burpees in a minute.
Really? How many can you do?
Right now,
Could.
probably about 4.
Could.
Yeah.
How many could he do?
You're talking past tense.
Yeah. So it was during lockdown, and I was like, do you know what? Like, I just want to try and do something really stupid. So, like, let's see if we can set a world record. And I was quite into sort of functional training at the time. So I spent some time trying to identify a world record in burpees on the basis that there wouldn't be that many people that would want to try and do that. So
That's because they're terrible. They suck.
It's awful, right? So I initially started looking at like you can do them over like 12 hours or 24 hours or whatever. And that was quite a stretch. So I did 1,000 in like an hour and 55 minutes, which and like when I done that, I was like, that's a lot. And like I couldn't keep the pace that's required in order to get close to those ones. And it's also a lot less effort to do 1 minute than it is to do 24 hours. So I was like, I'll try that. I think I've got it. I think the record is achievable. So I set about kind of like training myself to do it because it was lockdown and there was nothing really else to do. So to push through it. So that went on for several months, and the record was 30. I have a really like badly angled video where you can't really see my body of me doing 31 in a minute, which would have beaten the record that stood now. That same record has now been smashed by somebody else. It's 38, so I would never have got anywhere near that. Didn't have that in a locker. But when I got to the doing it bit, you realize that it's extremely difficult to get a world record verified if like Guinness sort of haven't asked you to do it, and in order to do that you need to be somebody that sort of like does those kind of things. So if you could do it yourself, you needed to like official timekeepers, you need to do it in a place that's not your home gym, and then you need like 4 witnesses, and you have to have like official timekeeping gear, and like I just kind of got put off by the end piece of it, which is a real shame because I was there or thereabouts, and I think I'd done all the training, everything I'd done was by myself, so there was no like I hadn't got the "Go on, Tony!" like it's screaming at me in music and that sort of thing. So yeah, or you could get someone from Guinness to come down and verify it, but that was 10 grand for the
I was about to say, Jeff,
for a day. 10 grand. So I was like,
I mean, this is a compliment, Tony. What makes you more impressive is you aren't really built for burpees, dude. Like I don't know if people know this, but you're like 6'3" and 100 kilos, maybe bigger. Like you're a big dude. Burpees aren't your thing.
So it was 100 then, but like so what I'd done is they're really strict about like they give you this description of exactly how you must do it. So these burpees are like you have to start lying on the floor with your hands out, and then you do the burpee, stand up, do the burpee, and you have to touch a full length arm out again. So they're not like a normal burpee. So to standardize it. But where the description was, it didn't say anything about you having to stand up to upright, but they're really specific about it. So if I had to stand up to upright because of my size, I didn't have the pace to do it. But I'd worked out that I actually didn't need to stand up to upright because it didn't say it in the description. So I was always kind of like flirting a little bit with like an interpretation of how it would have been seen. I have a feeling they would have gone, that's not right, and I would have been like, well, that's not your description. So so it was all. It
wasn't a burpee where you jump up; you just had to stand up.
You have to get your feet off the floor, but like when you start to look at the technique, you can sort of like just you have to like hurl it. And do you know what the hardest thing was? Like, and I'm sorry, I know we're way past time. Counting.
Yeah.
So I was like, when I first started, I was like, bang, counting it myself, got through. And then I was like, yeah, I'm pretty close to this. I was like, I'm 26. I need to get to 31. I was like, straight off the bat. And I was like, because I was quite fit at the time. I was like, oh, brilliant. That's great. Then I humbled myself and took the serious backward step to film and then count backwards from the filming. And you realize like, you just can't count and redline burpees at the same time accurately. And especially if you spent your entire life counting the jump, not the hitting the floor. So you'll like get up, you'll count one. That's not one. One is when you back down on the floor. You only need to do that a couple of times in the rounds, and then you've lost it. So I learned tons about training and tons about myself. But
I'm going to interrupt. On that note, we're going to hit end stream because I really want to hear what 50 Cent said while we're not on air.